Hello and welcome to today's edition of Sports365. I'm your host, Ep1, and I've got two of the finest analysts in town to break down today's this weekend's fixtures. I've got Biodun here with me, and I've got Dami as well. I hope you're happy to be here, guys.
Yeah, we're very happy to be here.
That's good to hear. Like I mentioned, we're going to be breaking down, we're going to be previewing the coming fixtures in the English Premier League, Spanish La Liga, and the German Bundesliga. There's so many games to look forward to. It promises to be one of those mouth-watering weekends in terms of fixtures and games we can expect. And I don't want to waste any time here, guys. Let's just go right into the English Premier League.
Sure.
Manchester United versus Chelsea. And I was going to say Old Trafford, but it doesn't seem like there's any home and away fixtures anymore, is there?
Yeah, it doesn't feel that way any longer because there are no spectators. So the lack of crowd is actually, I would say, is a good thing for soccer because we see that the game goes from end to end these days, and there's less pressure from the fans on the players. So I think you're right on that.
So what would you say the fans can look forward to in this game in terms of Manchester United and Chelsea and Chelsea's form?
Well, so I would say they should look forward to an attacking game because both sides are very good attack-wise, and their defenses have been leaky so far this season. So I would say it will be a high-scoring game. Yeah.
Okay, well, high-scoring game for Man United, Chelsea. How about Arsenal against Leicester City? We know that the current form of the Arsenal team is quite interesting because of the new acquisition on the post Arteta, and when you look at Leicester as well, some of the key players wouldn't be available for this fixture. What would you say we can expect for this weekend in terms of Arsenal against Leicester City?
I would say that we would expect a cracker. Both teams are coming on the back of a loss in their last Premier League game. Arsenal lost to Man City, and Leicester City lost to Aston Villa. Yeah. That was a last-minute goal in that game. So they would want to right those wrongs and get back on track with a win. So I expect both teams to come out attacking. It should be a very interesting one.
Okay, well, before we go into the other games in the other leagues, can you give a prediction on the Man United and Chelsea game?
Oh yeah, I would say it will be a 2-2 game or maybe a 3-3 draw.
Okay, high-scoring draw. Yeah. How about Arsenal, Leicester City?
I think Arsenal will edge this one. It will be a high-scoring game. I'm looking at a 3-2 win for Arsenal.
Okay, well, we all can't wait, for the weekend, in terms of these fixtures. But if we could just move into the La Liga now, the world-known El Clasico. It's the level of PR that we get before this game. It's amazing. Even with the COVID, effect it's had, the La Liga and the El Clasico game is still looked forward to by as many as millions. So what would you say, Dami, in terms of that game? I mean, when you look at the form of both teams, who do you think will win that game?
So I would go for a Real Madrid win.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a very tough one to call, but I'll call it. The reason is because if you look at last season, Real Madrid, they didn't lose away to Barcelona when they were at Camp Nou. And looking at the position of Real Madrid this season, I think they have the edge over Barcelona in this El Clasico.
Oh wow! Well, he thinks Madrid will probably get that. Would you like to maybe chip in something there?
Yeah. That's a tough call by Dami. I would go for a draw. Yes, Barca has been playing well, and neither has Real Madrid, playing well as well. But I think the Camp Nou effect, even though there are no fans, but just because it's their home and it's a spiritual home for Barcelona, So I would say I would go for a draw. Yeah.
Okay. How about Atletico Madrid playing Real Betis? Atletico Madrid went a few games, no goals, and then the last game I think it was a good game for them as well. Yeah. What would your predictions be for that game?
Yeah. So if you look at the table, you'd see that Atletico Madrid is just below Real Betis, and but Atletico Madrid has played less games. So I would think that that Simeone, the coach, there's a way he sets up his team to actually kind of defend when he's playing against stronger oppositions, but when he's playing against lower oppositions, the defensive structure doesn't really work that much. So I would go for an Atletico win because Real Betis, they are not doing so well, though they are above Atletico Madrid, but they've played 2 more games more than Atletico Madrid. So I would say I'd go for like a 2-goal victory for Atletico Madrid.
Okay, 2-0?
Yeah, 2-0.
Well, that's good defending if you can keep a clean sheet. Barcelona Madrid, what will be your prediction in terms of the scoreline?
Yeah, so I said Real Madrid will win that game. It will be a 2-1.
2-1?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's the El Clasico. You know, we cannot wait for the weekend. You know, to experience once again the firecracker of a game that the El Clasico can be. And we just hope it's not one of those boring games. I do remember, you know, the previous El Clasico, the one before. There was a 0-0 scoreline, if I remember. And it was really boring. But well, it's a different season, so we expect different outcomes. So the German league, the Bundesliga. Bayern Munich they just seem to run away with it, don't they? But when you look at the work that Dortmund, keeps doing, in the background, bringing in young talents and continually, at least challenging for a while. When you look at the fixture as well, Dortmund and the Schalke 04, what would be your prediction be for the weekend?
Yeah, I would say I would predict a Dortmund win, though that it will be tight because yes, Dortmund is second on the table, but Schalke is 17th, and they've not won in 20 games. That's Schalke, but anything can happen in a derby game. It's a derby. It's the Revier derby in Germany, so it will be very tight. I'm just predicting like a win for Dortmund by a goal.
Oh, okay. I know that I the last fixture, Dortmund suffered a loss.
Yes.
So I expect that they will probably come back looking to win that one. Now, if you had a chance to improve on the current Bayern Munich squad, what would you say needs improving in terms of the overall team, as it were, going into the weekend? If you had to make a change, where would you look to make the change?
And if you look at they actually allowed a few players to leave after the end of last season.
Yes.
Even Perisic left, Coutinho left. You have very key players that they could call upon from time to time to actually change the game. You would also remember that Thiago also left. Thiago Alcantara left for Liverpool. So I think they would. I would strengthen the midfield for Bayern. Reason because Lewandowski right now is irreplaceable. Still keeps his form, scoring a goal. So I think more work in the midfield. Need someone there to stabilize the midfield for them, and with that, there's no denying them the league this season.
Yeah. So regardless of midfield or no midfield, just so we can jump into Italian Serie A, would you predict a win for Bayern Munich this weekend, regardless of?
Oh yeah, without any signings, they'll be winning that game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's go straight into the Italian Serie A.
Wow.
And the much talked about Zlatan, AC Milan, the new look in AC Milan, the victory over Inter Milan in the last fixture, and then going into the fixture this weekend. How do you see this one playing out?
Well, it's going to be an interesting game because so Milan won the Milan derby,
yes,
2-1 the other game, and that was the first time they were actually conceding in 7 games in the Serie A this season. And Roma also won 5-2 against Benevento.
Yes.
And Dzeko scoring 2 goals there. And something we need to note is that there are a lot of former Premier League players in Roma. So we have Smalling, we have Dzeko, now Arsenal's former player, that's Mkhitaryan, has gone there, and Pedro, Chelsea's former player, also scored in the last game. So I think it's going to be like a strong attack from Roma against a very defensive Milan. But Zlatan has also been performing well, so I would say I would go for a high-scoring draw as well. I think Roma would score like 2 goals against Milan's defense, and I think Zlatan will be scoring 1, and it will be a 2-2 draw.
Yeah, well, Dami, before I come to you, I look at this list, and there's quite a few players, from English teams that seem to have moved over to Serie A. And there are words out there saying, these are Premier League rejects. Would you tag these players as rejects, or would you just say they just didn't thrive as much, in England as they are right now in the Italian league?
I wouldn't say they are rejects, and I wouldn't say they didn't try in Premier League. I think it's more of the Serie A league improving and attracting players, right? That's why clubs can go out and try to get good players from the good leagues. We all know how good the Premier League is and the kind of players that are actually there. So clubs in the Italian Serie A are looking to kind of strengthen their squad, and they're trying to get players that are available at that point in time. So that's why we're seeing that massive exodus of players to the Serie A.
Yeah. So Biodun never, he didn't say who would probably win in Milan, Roma. Who would you predict to be the winner? Could you maybe give a scoreline as well?
Looking at the recent form of AC Milan, as Biodun rightly said earlier, they conceded the first goal of the season in the last game, the Milan derby. They won all 4 games this season. They are on top of the league. They're at home as well. So looking at all those, conditions, I predict a win for AC Milan. I think they will just nick that win, and I'm going for a 2-1.
2-1. Milan, you did say Milan. Quickly, scoreline prediction?
Well, I said I would go for 2-2.
2-2?
Yeah.
Draw?
Yeah, it's
okay.
2-2 draw.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I would like to say that please don't forget to smash that notification button, and also look forward to you subscribing so you don't miss out on all of our content from Sports365. From us here, we would like to wish you a wonderful weekend, and we hope you enjoy the fixtures as well. Take care. Bye.